With every passing night in this game, the season slowly sinks into its usual BBUS self of a broken record. I expected to come into tonight to at least have something to talk about, possible vote flipping here and there, and yet boring, pointless, worthless Travis barely even campaigned. No, in fact, he only really campaigned to the HOH who can't vote. And so, as we head into week two, the season is becoming the same kind of season that we have seen on this show for a decade. We got the big alliance of eight, the slaughterhouse, that somehow got put together out of nowhere and yet might have a chance to succeed, which I will get to in a while. We have the follow the leader gameplay. Suddenly, somehow, Frenchie is the new Paul and is leading his cult after this messy ass week. Today and last night, it was all about vote with the house. Gotta vote with the house. Modern Big Brother is all about voting with the house. We got the pick me woman of Alyssa, who just wants to work with all the guys and target the girls. And possibly most importantly, we got that week one HOH that even apparently now, if you play one of the worst games ever, you could still take control of the house. Yes, unfortunately, Big Brother in the US is a broken record. And I don't know if people are holding the same energy as much as they should, like they did in BB Can 9, in that how dumb this stupid cast is. Everybody called out that cast for playing so dumb. But this cast is worse because this cast is not only dumb, but they're lazy. You know, on BB Can 9, they might have played dumb, but they were all playing hard except for that Bortina, I guess. But everybody else was playing hard. But this season, not only is everybody playing dumb, but they are playing that lazy Big Brother US game where nobody really wants to play their own game. Everybody's fine with playing at the bottom. And you know, the big alliance somehow is all together, and yet the outsiders can't put it all together. And now we're already at that point, like we seem to be every season with BBUS, where the second HOH can break or make the season. It is a tired, boring record. And as I am about to, criticize and shame the cast, I just want to say that at least there are some members like Tiffany and Claire and Aza who at least are trying to play a real game and have a good read on the house. Tiffany's read is so good on the house that it's like she's watching the live feeds. But outside of those three, everybody else is pretty goddamn dumb. And I do kind of want to give Brittany some credit, honestly, because she's at least trying. And Hannah, I forget about Hannah sometimes. I would have gave Hannah a lot more credit today, but unfortunately Frenchie ruined that too. But we'll add Hannah and Brittany to the list of at least they're not as dumb as everybody else. As for Brittany, she talks about herself too much and she's too paranoid, honestly, about her own game to see what's really happening in the game. I feel like she's starting to see the light, but I don't know if that's true or not. But I got to talk about the Slaughterhouse Alliance because it is blowing my mind how they actually have a shot at succeeding. If this alliance succeeds, even if just for a few weeks, I think it proves that this game is unfixable in the US. I guess the only fix for the show is getting Grodner and Meehan the fuck out of here for once, but that doesn't seem to happen because CBS sucks. But outside of that, with them in charge, the game is the same every year. And I think they want it this way because, like I said in my very first video of coverage this year, if they didn't want these big alliances, why do they show them Big Brother 16 and Sequester every year? That was really the season that started down this path that we are stuck on, and yet they show it to them every year to give them refresh their memory, or if they're recruits to show them the game, and then we get the same game every year. So let's talk about the slaughterhouse and how it is ridiculous that they're all up Frenchie's ass still. We'll start with Derek F, who I guess is thinking with his dick and really has that crush on Frenchie I've been talking about, because this guy knows how all over the place Frenchie has been. He knows that he's not the only person that Frenchie made a final two with. He knows about the final two with Christian. He, Yesterday I didn't talk about it because I didn't think it'd be such a big deal, but now it is. Frenchie made a women's alliance with himself and most of the women outside of Alyssa and Whitney to try and cover himself on both sides. Azza told Derek F about this. Derek F just laid in his fucking bed all day, like always. So he's stuck in this alliance of laziness, is what it really comes down to. Next, there is Brent and Christian, who both know that they were targets for Frenchie this week. Christian is the dumber of the two, honestly. Brent and Frenchie have this odd relationship where I just feel like they both need each other's approval, and yet they both want to get jealous of each other sometimes. It's weird. I don't understand it. It's stupid. Christian, on the other hand, is even dumber than dumb because he knows Frenchie was after him. He knows he thought this showman's with Alyssa. And Alyssa falls in the same category. Alyssa and Kylan, for that matter, are in this alliance after Frenchie nominated them and went back on his word to both of them, and yet they both got in this alliance. At first, it seemed like it was supposed to be that way to save their own ass on the block, but Alyssa is definitely dead set on this alliance now. She listens to everything Frenchie says. Christian does the same. And I mean, it should be no surprise because Christian's dumb as rocks. Tonight, he was asked about which team they should target. And Christian's like, which team has the most girls? Each team has two boys and two girls. Xavier in this alliance, he's still playing with his dick. He knows that Alyssa isn't going to go for him. Alyssa always tonight, or today at least, left conversations with him to go hang out with Christian or Brent. So Xavier needs to get over this whole fucking horny puppy dog act because I'm tired of it. Who else is in the Slaughterhouse Alliance? Oh, I guess that would be Whitney, another one just fine on playing from the bottom of Alliance with the men. She knows she's on the bottom of the Alliance. Her and Alyssa both know this. Now let's talk about Alyssa and Whitney. And I'm going to give Whitney a little credit because she had a good conversation with Alyssa today about how they could somewhat play the middle because they know they're at the bottom of the alliance and maybe they could use the girls to take out the guy since Frenchie told them about the girls' alliance that he created. Well, no, he didn't say he created. He said they came to him, which just sounds dumb already. You would think if their head was in the game and they weren't always just eating Frenchie's bullshit all the time, that they would realize that. But Alyssa is such a pick me that she just tells the guys in that alliance everything about the girls. And I thought I thought Hannah was working some magic today with Alyssa. And she did that, uh, Alyssa's been so wanting to get Hannah out yesterday. And then on Wednesday, they had a talk, and suddenly Alyssa feels closest to Hannah. But then Fringy had to ruin that and let Alyssa know that Hannah's in that girls' alliance that they supposedly made and brought in Frenchie. So it's not an all girls alliance. Frenchie's in it, but these idiots like Alyssa and Christian can't put that together. But Alyssa is just so fucking obnoxious. I really wish she was the one going home. I wish Travis wasn't casted just to be first brute like he clearly was because he was here to do nothing for a week. But Alyssa just talks like this all day. She's always like, I I am a guy's girl. Or she's like, girls don't usually get along with me. Or Why aren't the girls bringing me into the alliance? All she talks about all day is her looks and how she was casted as the good looking girl and how girls don't like the good looking girl. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're not even like in the top four best looking woman in the fucking house. She's literally a dollar store Salma Hayek. And unfortunately, even Derek X had a bad day. Everybody's stocks are sinking. Derek X just, I mean, he's between a rock and a hard place, but he runs his mouth a little too much to the wrong people. Tiffany caught wind of this today and was mad at him. So Derek X needs to just be careful with what he's saying. But I think at this point, if even Tiffany's mad at him, it ain't looking good for this guy. He's just gonna have to win competitions. Even Tiffany, I feel, made a mistake today. Frenchie, who's always doing the most, wants Tiffany to throw a vote at the voting tomorrow to pin it on Derek X. It's rough. Everybody sucks in this fucking game. They all are getting on my nerves. It's like Derek F is just, why is he here? He has the worst fucking reads on the house, and it's all because he's obsessed with Frenchie's little pink dick. It is unfortunate that we are getting Big Brother 19 level bad already. Literally, the only thing I enjoyed that came from the day, and it's not even enjoyable because it's fucking stupid that it's even happening and terrible that it's even happening. But I enjoyed that Hannah and Tiffany had a conversation about Frenchie and his fucking fake woke social justice warrior activism and how he's always talking about he was gonna save a woman, but he put up a woman, and how he wasn't gonna put up a POC, but he put up a POC, and how he's using this on a game level just like Tyler last year, that production tried to cover up when he was trying to use BLA as gameplay. But at least they're not covering up Frenchie while they are on the POC side of it in the episodes. Which I mean, I was gonna talk about the episodes, but it's just so much to rant about today with this shitty show. We got Facebook going crazy because of the Cookout Alliance, as predicted. Those old ass white folks can't stand baby boomers, but that's a rant for another day about how white baby boomers are the goddamn worst. Oh, I know who I haven't roasted yet. That worthless Sarah Beth. I didn't roast her yet. She's the one that has this info from Kylan, and she wants to play that boring Tina-like game from BB Can 9 where she will just play from the bottom. I can't stand players like Sarah Beth, and I hate that they get casted, honestly. If you're not there to play and you're too afraid to play, why are you there? But that's become the whole show. 90% of the people cast on the show aren't there to actually play for themselves. They want to take a lazy approach because it works, but it only works for the people at the top of the alliance every fucking year. At this point, there's only two things that can save the season this coming week. This coming week will make or break the season, most likely. Because if Slaughterhouse gets the HOH on to Thursday night, it just cements them because it's going to be easy for them to vote someone out and then likely bring them closer in some capacity. I mean, I'm sure Frenchie could ruin it, but I don't even think that anymore because all of these idiots just are either afraid of Frenchie or listen to Frenchie or truly think Frenchie's playing this great fucking game and it makes no sense. So the one thing that like I've been saying is somebody other than them has to win the HOH, but really I feel like it's down to maybe Tiffany and Claire or Hannah winning the HOH and putting the right people up. I still feel like Ozza hasn't gotten over the possibility of using Derek X as a pawn, which would be dumb. I feel like Sarah Beth would go the easy route, even though she knows the other alliance is there. And Brittany is a maybe. I feel like she's coming around, but I feel like she wants to target women. But if that woman would be Alyssa, I'm fine with it. So that's one way that could save the show for now. The one good thing that is kind of happening is I feel like a lot of the slaughterhouse plans on throwing the competition outside of Alyssa and Christian. Christian's been flip flopping about it if he's going to throw or not. Same with Whitney and Brent. But for the most part, it seems like the Slaughterhouse wants to throw the competition. So that's good. Maybe that gives me a little hope that somebody outside of them will win the HOH. But with this show, the worst possible winner always wins HOH. So the show just can't help itself but be a fucking boring ride. The other possibility is if Sarah Beth or Kyland tell more people about the goddamn alliance and then split the house. This should have already happened, in my opinion. But I guess I could see why maybe not yet, but it needs to happen by this next week because it would give Kyland, if he knew how to maneuver the situation, it would give Kylan a chance to play the middle. But I think it would be dangerous for him at the same time because the slaughterhouse already doesn't trust him. But I mean, I just wish someone would make a move. How tired must we be about this vote with the house shit to stop it from happening every season? Why can't people play their own damn games on this show? On Survivor, they're always making big moves. Xavier was having this conversation by himself in a room tonight talking to the feeds about how the best players in Big Brother always play from behind the scenes and don't want to talk about how they're playing or take credit for their game because a lot of people in the slaughterhouse, like Frenchie and Alyssa and Christian and Brent, are always talking about the big moves they're making. And Xavier feels like you should talk, or you shouldn't talk about it. You should just make the moves from behind the scenes. Xavier ain't doing shit from behind the scenes like he thinks he is. He's not in the best spot in the slaughterhouse like he thinks he is. But this is the kind of thing that makes Big Brother inferior to Survivor because on Survivor, players will go balls to the wall. They will flip votes. They will make big flashy moves and still win the game. But on this goddamn show, yeah, everybody's playing the sheep role until you get to a certain part of the game. Like you have to play a sheep role until final five, and then maybe start playing the game. BBUS needs help. It is a rotting pig carcass, and that pig carcass's name is Allison Grodner.